I think most people last night would have seen concerning news regarding a new case from a quarantine hotel in Victoria. Of course, this was heightened by the Premier, Daniel Andrews, going out and doing a late night press conference. He's given his press conference again this morning. We are concerned about this, and so the Directions Committee met this morning in South Australia, and I'd now like to outline what will be occurring here in South Australia. But I would emphasise that it is still early days and we're still receiving information in from Victoria. The good news is that the border with Victoria will remain open. There will be, however, an increased requirement for testing for those people coming across that border. That will be restricted to people from the Greater Melbourne area, not the whole of Victoria. What we're asking people that are coming in from the Greater Melbourne area to do is to have a PCR test. This is the nasal and throat swab on day 1, day 5 and day 12, and at this stage to isolate after the first test pending that result coming back. Can I also say anybody who has been at the Grand Hyatt from the 28th of January will need to go into hotel quarantine here in South Australia. We're asking anybody who was at that hotel from the 28th of January onwards to immediately contact SA Health to arrange that isolation. We're also asking people to isolate who have come into or come into contact with a range of areas of concern that have been identified by Victoria Health, which include Lululemon at the Moorabbin Airport, Club Noble at Noble Park, Bunnings Springvale, Coles Springvale, Share Tea Springvale, Woolworths Springvale, Kebab Kings in West Melbourne, the Melbourne Golf Academy at Heatherton, Kmart Brandon Park, and can I say that this list is likely to grow. And so if you are coming from Greater Melbourne, we are asking you to stay abreast of any developments in areas of concern. And if you do have any concern that you may have been to one of these areas, then we're asking you to get in touch with SA Health. The Transition Committee will meet tomorrow. One of the things that we will be looking at tomorrow is the requirement to isolate after the first PCR test. As you would be aware, we now have a requirement for anybody coming in from New South Wales, as of today, Greater Melbourne, and also Western Australia to have a testing arrangement. The Transition Committee will meet tomorrow to consider this and whether it is still a requirement to isolate before that result is received. So there will be a further update with regards to that tomorrow. Can I say this is an area of concern. We do need to be alert. We don't need to be alarmed. We certainly have been able to deal very effectively with these types of situations before, and I expect that it's going to continue in the future.